The Dutch driver Max Verstappen has been having a crazy season. In the first 3 races, he had 2 retirements, and that really hurt his championship form. However, at the Singapore Grand Prix in a few weeks, he can win the World Championship with 5 races to go. Now, is that really true, and why is that such a big feat? After Verstappen's first World Championship, many people thought that he would struggle this season. They were right in thinking so, because the difference between last year's car and this year's car is like night and day. Now, the people who run Formula 1 know that in this sport, it's easy to have an advantage. Larger companies like Ferrari and Mercedes have bigger budgets, better resources, and just more experience in racing. So over a period of time, they'll know what to do to have that perfect race car. Now keep in mind that's not always the case, but it's mostly the case. Like take for example the double diffuser car of Red Bull. This car ran from 2009 until 2013. It's the same car which Sebastian Vettel won his 4 world championships. Take for example even the monstrous Mercedes cars from 2014 until last year. They won the Constructors' Championship 7 times consecutively. Now Formula 1 understands that. They know that teams perfect their cars slowly over the seasons. And that's why we have rule changes. Now it's not the only reason we have these changes, there's also safety and a bunch of other stuff, but it's one of the reasons. Red Bull won the Constructors' Championship with their cars in 2013. But in 2014, they were beaten by Mercedes and there was a rule change that year. Similarly, it's happening to Mercedes, who are third in the Constructors' Championship behind Red Bull and Ferrari this year, but last year they won the Constructors' Championship. The rule change is meant to shake things up. There were aerodynamic changes too for this year, and these aerodynamic changes have allowed for better racing. In the previous years, if you were driving behind another F1 car closely, there would be a lot of turbulent air coming onto your car, and this would make it tougher to race behind someone because your tires would degrade and it would just be tougher to control. So after Verstappen won his maiden World Championship last year, the playing field was leveled. It's not just the driver's points table I'm talking about, it's about the car and the development of the car as well. All teams started from scratch, from Mercedes to even Haas. But there's one thing that hasn't changed, and that's Max Verstappen. The rule changes are there to make sure that world champions find it tough to win across different Formula 1 eras. But he's done that. Verstappen has not been the first driver to do it, but that doesn't take away what a mammoth task he is about to accomplish. He's been driving like a world champion all season long, and there have been races where he wasn't the fastest on track, but he soldiered on in those races just for valuable points. So far, out of the last 5 races, he's won all of them. And in those 5 races, he didn't start on pole for all of those races. He started first just for one race. Then he started P2 for another race. He started P7 for the race in Monza. He started in 10th for the race in Hungary. And he started in 14th for the race in Spa. Yet he managed to win all of those races. He's been absolutely dominating the field while his teammate Sergio Perez struggles to get podium positions in the very same car. Now in Singapore, he can win the World Championship, although it's very highly unlikely. He has to depend on 2 drivers to have bad results in Singapore, and those drivers are Perez and Leclerc. Leclerc is 116 points off and Perez is 125 points off. For Max to win the championship in Singapore, he should win the race and set the fastest lap, and Perez should finish 4th or lower and Leclerc should finish 8th or lower. Now this looks highly unlikely given that Ferraris aren't really that slow. But who knows? It's 2 long weeks until the Singapore Grand Prix and we're all just very excited to witness that one race. So thank you for watching this video by Fervent Motorsports. Do remember to like and subscribe if you like this content and stick around as we uncover more from this Formula 1 season.